may not have a lot of crime in North Dakota compared to other states, but there were still some notable crimes and subsequent court proceedings this year. Bella Craft gives us a recap of some of them.
This year started off as an end to an era when the state's longest-serving Supreme Court Justice, Gerald Vanderwall, retired at the end of January. Justice Vanderwall served 64 years in state government, 44 of those in the Supreme Court. Governor Burgum appointed South Central District Judge Douglas Barr to fill the vacancy. In February, Judge Barr sentenced Nikki Sue Ensel to life with the possibility of parole for conspiracy to kill her husband, Chad Ensel, burning the couple's home and destroying evidence. A jury found her guilty in October of 2022. In March, Ensel filed an appeal to overturn her conviction based on insufficient evidence. The Supreme Court heard those arguments in September and rejected her appeal. She will serve 36 years before she's eligible for parole. Another notable Supreme Court case was decided in March. Justices closed the case for convicted murderer Chad Isaak, who had been serving 4 life sentences for killing 4 RJR maintenance and management employees in 2019. He had filed an appeal but died by suicide in the North Dakota State Penitentiary in July 2022 before the case was decided. April also marked the first of 2 officer-involved shootings that happened within a few weeks of each other. On the 22nd, officers say Kyle Johnson led them on a high-speed chase that ended on South Washington Street. Police say Johnson got out of the vehicle with a gun, and that's when officers shot him. He had non-life-threatening injuries and has been charged in federal court. Both officers were cleared and returned to duty. 2 weeks later, on May 4th, a Bismarck police officer shot Dayton Llewellyn when they said he left the Interstate Loop U-Haul Storage Center with a gun. Authorities were looking for him on a different crime. The officer was cleared and returned to duty. Llewellyn's trial is set for January. In June, 19-year-old Corbin Lampert was charged with murder and the death of 16-year-old Taryn Holbein. Lampert is pleaded not guilty. His trial is set for April. August was the end of a multi-year battle for Cassandra Black Elk. The previous year, a judge sentenced her to a 1.5 years in jail after she pleaded guilty to child neglect in the death of her infant daughter. In February, a judge vacated that sentence and ordered a new trial because of improper attorney advice. The case went all the way up to the state Supreme Court, and in August, justices ruled she should be given a new trial based on autopsy results that exonerated her. In October, Burleigh County prosecutors dismissed the case. In September, a jury found 17-year-old Jesse Taylor Jr. guilty of murder in the 2022 shooting death of 28-year-old Maurice Thundershield. Taylor is scheduled to be sentenced in January. The third officer-related shooting of the year happened in November when police were searching for a 17-year-old boy on a shots-fired incident. When they approached the teen, he had a gun, and officers shot and killed him. Those officers were uninjured and remain on administrative leave pending a BCI investigation. The beginning of December marked tragedy for Beulah and Mercer County. Mercer County Deputy Paul Martin was killed in the line of duty on December 6th. Residents lined the streets for his funeral procession to honor him. Ian Krimmer has been charged with homicide for Martin's death. He is scheduled to appear in court in February. This year also saw additions to law enforcement agencies. Bismarck Police rolled out body cameras in October. The department also launched an incident map where residents can view live statistics. Morton County deputies now have BOLA wraps on their duty belts, giving them a non-use-of-force way to detain people. Inside the state penitentiary walls, 2 inmates launched a podcast with the hopes of reducing stereotypes for incarcerated people. And Morton County Sheriff's therapy canine Major finally got to meet his brother Finn, who's working in the same field in Killdeer. In Bismarck, I'm Bella Craft reporting for your News Leader.
Another notable incident was the death of Fargo police officer Jake Wallin. Officers Andrew Dotis and Tyler Hawes were injured at the same time.